All right, I'm showing this because I'm gonna do a shout out to Schwartz because I keep saying Schwartz doesn't mix that much, but he does. He knows what to do if he wants to do it. This is a cool Tampa 7. This is what I talk about when I talk about Tampa 7. This is almost more like a cover 7 because these are cloud corners, and I know everybody does cloud corners no matter what now, and everybody calls it cover 2. But to me, it reminds me of the Nick Saban stuff he developed so long ago, and it's more like match, so that everybody's working in unison. So it's 4/3. What do we have? We're someone's standing the chip, but it looks like, yeah, one chip's coming out here, one chip's here, 3 over here, 4/3. Oh, but this not okay. It would, if it wasn't Tampa 7, it would be 4/3. So like 4/3 on one side, 3/2 on the other. So it's a 7 coverage. They're all linked together. But when you throw a Tampa guy in who's racing back from up and down low, and he takes that middle hole area, you have 2 safeties, and then you have these cloud corners. And you might get all confused because I'm throwing this arrow around, and you're like, wait, what? 2 safeties again? Yeah, right. Here we go. Let me do that again for you. So the nickel's playing one of the corners. The corner's going back as a 2 deep, and this guy's coming up as just one of the short zone guys. He's actually not moving at all. That's crazy. And he's the short zone guy. He's Tampa guy in the hole, and then you've got your cloud corners right here. So that's a really interesting way to get to it. I've seen it before. It's not like the first guy, but so Schwartz does do some tricky stuff. I guess because of the chips and some maybe good line blocking, Stroud had a second to throw. He had some time. Yeah, he had some time. It was only a 4-man rush, and he had some chips. The chips are out real low. And what happens is, in cover 7, it's mostly deep coverage. Tampa 7's even more deep, you know? And this guy really should be up here a little more, but for some reason, he just wanted to stand still there. So you have these guys wide open, and I know the sticks are here. So they have a way to go to get to the stick. But still, that's why they ran this coverage. So it's pretty cool. And then when you do this, if anything, you don't get beat deep. And look at this. Just really a bad job. I mean, these 2 safeties in cover in a 7 style, besides cloud corners, these guys are a little more aggressive. That's why I like to say 7 instead of just normal cover 2. They're not covering just deep half and they're way over here making sure, and they get burned down the middle. They're watching everything, and they're linked to these guys. Everybody's linked together, and it's really a match coverage in the end of the day. It's supposed to be. So everybody has a zone match. So they pass each other, they pass things off. So this guy's, look how he's lined up too. In a different cover 2, his technique will be pushing the guy to the sideline. And he'll not in this technique. This technique is he's like clouding, and he's got leverage outside. So this guy's coming in. So this guy he's passing it over to him, and he needs to make sure to get him. And boy, he was expecting this guy to cross. He's expecting him to do a cross, and then he can jump on that, but he's got to be careful with that too. Or he might have been looking at this guy crossing. But you have a Tampa 7. This guy deep back here, man. See, maybe he needed to match on him, and then he needs to match on him. Yeah. Anyway, it's not easy, this stuff. That's why Schwartz does the easier stuff. But that stuff you can't do over and over. You've got to mix it up. And honestly, they get away with this error, this bad execution, because they mixed it up. Because this guy's thinking, look, this almost looks like 3/1. And he's like, no one's coming to me. I think that's Nico Collins. So he's kind of loafing around to pull this guy out of here so this guy will be open. And then Stroud throws it to him, because Stroud could have thrown it to this guy. But that's the thing about Stroud that's really cool. He picks this stuff up quick. But he's looking at, I think he's probably looking grass. I know Ryan Day teaches some of that. I don't know 100% from the schemes I see that he does, and from the stuff on the field. I never talked to Ryan Day, but I think he does. I see a lot of air raid stuff going on. Not a lot, but to a certain degree. But there's a lot of grass here. I think Stroud just saw this safety sitting. And I think Stroud was looking like, I think this whole thing, again, where's Stroud's primary? Yeah, he's looking here, but his primary's here. I'm pretty sure. And I think he's really thinking here, but he's because he has his eyes on the whole picture right here, and he sees this guy settling down on here, And so boom, it's a heck of a great decision by Stroud. And I thought he just overthrew him. I thought he got excited and overthrew him, and I was like, Stroud's not as great as you think. Even though I'm an Ohio State fan, so that makes sense. But anyway, yeah, I think when you look back, this guy's not wasn't running real hard. I think that would have been perfect had he just he didn't think the ball was coming his way. Which is I know people are going to say, well, why not? Because he's human. I mean, you can watch it here more. JT says the same thing, and I agree with him. Oh, he's running hard there now. There was a slow up right up where you're not seeing it right now. Like it was slow right around here. Then he's starting. Then he's like, "Oh no, wait a minute! I'm going to get the ball. I gotta go! I gotta go!" So it's part of the it. He punched his fist in the ground. Damn it! All right. Well, anyway, that would have been just one more touchdown in the blowout.